Today on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE,
Government Watch. At 6, the Marysville City Council and the Yuba City Council regular meetings. After that, the Marysville Unified School Trustees delayed stream after the Marysville City Council ends, and the Yuba City Unified School Trustees delayed stream after Yuba City Council ends. Today on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's Government Watch, presented by PlumasLakeSelfStorage at PlumasLakeSelfStorage.com. Government Watch.
That's happening today, right here on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. It's the truth that comes through.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at PlumasLakeSelfStorage.com.
Madam Clerk, any changes to the agenda?
Not tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, anything to report from closed session?
Mayor, there is not.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Gilchrist.
Yes, Your Honor.
Step forward and share with us, please. What's on the agenda is a presentation, Homelessness Awareness Proclamation. Councilmember Gilchrist to present. Will be.
Are we on? Introduce yourself, first of all.
Aaron Walworth, Twin Cities Rescue Mission.
Samantha Hollins, Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium.
Thank you both very much for being here tonight. And Aaron, you've done an outstanding job. The rescue mission has cleaned out the Packard Library. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. And tonight I would like to honor you with this proclamation. A resolution proclaiming November 2025 Homelessness Awareness Month in the city of Marysville. Okay, let me catch my breath. This is a long one. Whereas homelessness is a challenge that has existed in Marysville, across the state, and throughout the nation for many decades, impacting the lives of individuals and families, many of whom come from our own neighborhoods. And whereas Marysville partners with numerous public and private agencies to develop solutions to homelessness that truly address the underlying situations for each individual who finds himself or herself homeless. And whereas since 2015, Marysville and its partners have been rapidly implementing shelter and housing programs that are designed with the best practices to resolve homelessness. And whereas programs such as 14 Forward, the Life Building Center, Salvation Army Depot, Twin Cities Rescue Mission, thank you very much, Regional Emergency Shelter Team, and the Coordinated Entry System have been achieving success as collaborative resources added within the last 8 years, increasing shelter beds and housing stock. And whereas we recognize that many of those living on the streets are people from our own communities who fell onto hard times or endured other difficult situations that carried them into homelessness, and that it often takes the strength of the whole community to help them regain hope and independence. Seriously. And whereas it is important to educate the public about the many reasons people are homeless, including the shortage of available housing. I'm laughing because this is not easy, Mr. Mayor, I got to tell you. There's a lot to read. And to remain detached so that I can deliver it, because this is really very personal. Problem for hundreds of individuals and families in the region, and that we as a community cannot stand idly by as long as this struggle continues. Whereas, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Marysville City Council hereby joins in recognition of the Homelessness Awareness Month and encourages all citizens to be aware that many do not have housing and need support from residents, as well as private and public service entities such as yourselves. Thank you very much, and this is for you. Do you have anything to say? Please do. It's easy.
On behalf of the Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium, we'd just like to say thank you for recognizing Homeless Awareness Month.
Thank you, everybody. I had no idea I was going to be up here. Actually, I was just told to show up. I didn't know I was going to say anything. But this has been a crazy 2 years for me, and we're seeing a lot of change over there in that little rescue mission. We're seeing a lot of change in the community, and I believe if you can change a heart, you can change a mind. You can change a mind, you can change the world. So there's a lot of people that are coming out of there, and they're doing a lot of good things. So thank you for this opportunity to come before you, and thank you for that recognition. I appreciate you all.
Thank you for being here, Aaron.
And Chief Nabetta, I see you have something to share, and the item on the agenda reads Life-Saving Award. We're honoring Sergeant Ryan Souza and Officer Mark Carroll. Chief. Don't be bashful.
Let me give you some details about that night, about what happened. On August 26th of this year, Sergeant Souza and Officer Carroll were dispatched to the 10th Street Bridge to assist the Yuba City Police Department with a man preparing to jump off the bridge. There on top of the bridge, they met a 70-year-old, 360-pound man named Joe. Joe had brought a stepladder with him and used it to climb over the guardrail where he was preparing to jump. He was holding on to the outside. The officers began a dialogue with Joe and learned he was a military veteran with chronic back pain. Joe was unable to get the medical assistance he needed to fix his back and wanted to end his life. Officer Carroll was also a veteran and was able to establish a personal connection with Joe through their common military background. After approximately 30 minutes of conversation, the officers were able to convince Joe to live. However, by this time, Joe was physically exhausted and unable to continue to hold on to the railing without assistance. 6 officers immediately grabbed a hold of Joe, but they couldn't lift him back over the railing because he was too heavy. The officers held on to Joe for another 20 minutes to prevent his fall until the fire department could make a harness and get it around his waist with a rope. And once they did that, all the officers and the fire department were eventually able to pull him back over the railing to safety. What you guys did that day wasn't just police work. It was humanity at its finest. You guys stepped forward when it counted, and a life was saved. We are proud of both of you, and we are grateful for your dedication. Thank you for serving this community with such heart. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now we move to the people we need. I presume that's why y'all were here. Good for y'all. I'm glad you were. Great. Would you get that door, Maggie? Thanks, Aaron. Okay. We now move to the Community and Consent Calendar Forum, and these are matters considered routine and normally passed by a single motion. There will be an opportunity for public comment on these matters and on any matter not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody wishing to comment?
Not tonight.
Thank you. No one's online. Okay, thank you. Thank you, then. We'll then move to the consent calendar. And again, these matters are typically passed as a single matter unless one item is pulled by a member of the council or by the city manager. What is the will of the council?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, that was unanimous. We now move to the discussion and action calendar. All matters in this section of the agenda, there's one matter, will be discussed and acted on individually. Members of the public obviously will be able to comment after the presentation and before council discussion. And this is a discussion regarding Measure G Oversight Committee requested by yours truly. The Measure G, when it was passed, one of the commitments was that there would be an oversight committee. And the exact composition of that committee was not prescribed. It could be all members of the public, it could be all members of the council, it could be a mix. I would just like to start the discussion. There may be opinions. I should probably go last on an opinion on what it should be. Ask Brad, I should go last. Anyway, I'd be happy to entertain ideas on this. This is a discussion. It need not lead to, actually, we could not reach a conclusion tonight, could we?
If everyone was on board, although I would hope that if it's going to be an ad hoc committee, that it have a...
It's going to be a regular committee.
If it's a regular committee, then it's a Brown Act committee, which is fine. And they'll have a regular agenda when they meet.
Yeah. So this is just a discussion. This is getting the topic up on the table and getting thoughts from members of the council. Councilmember Rollins.
Yes, I would like the community to be involved, have an ad hoc where there's community members. Important that work for transparency, and of course council members as well.
Hillcrest, thoughts?
No thoughts at this time.
So I would agree with Councilmember Marjorie over here that community oversight is important, and I do believe that it be a regular committee, as Council has stated. But I do believe that we should have a member of the Council be part of that as well, if that's possible within the oversight. But just be able to share transparency of why this Council makes these decisions and not wait for an intermediary, if you will, between a public oversight community that is just purely public. They need to have somebody in there to help maybe understand why a decision was made, whatever the case may be. So that's my thoughts on it, and I understand we're not making a decision. I just think a majority of public with one possible position from a city employee and or a city council member. My thoughts.
Mr. Vice Mayor Buttacaboli.
I have a quick question first. Maybe Jim, you can answer. With a full committee, there's always staff support, correct?
There we go. Okay. I think it's already on the agenda. My understanding is standing committee. Actually, repeat your question. Yes. Well, any committee would have staff support. I would expect you guys to. Yeah. Yes.
You want to turn yours on. Yours off.
I make a motion we get some IT guy in here.
You just have to remember to turn them on only.
Yeah. I agree with both what council member said here. I think even during our promoting Measure G, we made the suggestion, if not the promise, that we would have community members on the oversight. So I think it would be, it may be a 2-on-2, 2 council, 2 public, but at least 2 public members on it.
So through the chair, if it was to be a 2-on-2, is that impossible with the standing committee because most committees have an odd number, or does it not matter because they're not a voting committee? It's just a recommendation committee? Perfect. Okay. I agree with what Councilmember Buttacaboli said. Maybe a 2-on-2 would be appropriate, but I do truly want to have community membership invited. I guess maybe some conversation would be, is this going to be appointed positions, or if somebody wants to throw their hat in the ring and be up for discussion, that's something that might come up either tonight or another time, kind of go from there, from the at-large community.
To the chair. So to add to this, I would suggest 2 council members and 3 or 5 residents, making the residents the odd number.
Just to interject, there's no voting. There would be no voting matters on this. It's all for communications, correct?
Typically.
Therefore, well, I'm just interjecting the fact that it wouldn't need to have an odd number for the sake of voting. That's all.
Since Measure G oversight is with respect to the proper dispersal of the funds raised through what was Measure C and now Measure G, which is an evergreen measure, and it's really important to the city that for the city's financial health, number one, and also for the respect of city's management, number 2. It's really important that respect in terms of appreciation that things are being done correctly in line with the objectives of the measure. How it's appointed, I think there should be, I like the 2-on-2. I think our esteemed finance director is going to be integral in this and would be necessary support, because that's where the data is going to come from, and that's where the oversight, that's where the rubber meets the road in terms of oversight and senior management. And in terms of meeting, in fact, it would need to be a monthly meeting, but a quarterly meeting. It would, and then the feedback, and if someone's got an objection, run the risk on these things where the city could be doing everything absolutely right, and someone wants to make a name for themselves and they go public saying that things aren't right. But as long as the facts back up what's being done, it doesn't matter. Because again, there's no votes, and someone can complain all they want. And, I would suggest these appointments be vetted and names be suggested by members of the council. Then we figure out how to appoint from that list, and then we'll appoint 2 members from the council. I'm thinking out loud here, so if it doesn't sound like it's coming out real smooth, I'm synthesizing everything I've heard, and as I've heard it, I've been thinking. 2 and 2 sounds good. Quarterly sounds good. I think names for people from the community should be suggested by members of the council. And then we can go from there.
Quick question. I'm not sure if I understood what you saying. Were you asking also which members of the council? Suggestions is what I thought you said.
All members of the council can suggest names.
Well, the one suggestion I have is the fact that, Mr. Mayor, you and I are on all the financial committees, that maybe we shouldn't be on this one.
I didn't plan on it.
Because we're already somewhat informed ahead of time, and I think that might be.
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to shift the burden to the other 3. No, and I hadn't thought about it like that, but I had not planned on it. I thought it should be. So we'll draw straws on the 2, huh? Anyway, we'll figure that out. But I think quarterly, 2 and 2. And names, you can suggest names, and for membership, and there's a number of wonderful people in the community who could serve on this. And Anissa and Jim are well equipped to provide really clear reports on activity and how these funds are spent and what have you. So we're checking a box, but it's a critical box. It's something we promised to do and we need to do, and so we're going to do it. So 4 people total. Is there consent? I know you wanted more, Stuart. Could you live with 4? Yeah.
Now the voting is not involved. Yes.
So we've got a consensus on 4, 2 and 2. The 2 from the council, not including the vice mayor, myself, and pull the names together. And to the extent there's appointments, rather than doing appointments by vote, I'll make the appointments. But it will be the public members will be based on the recommendations of the council members. Sir,
clarification. So you're saying 2 council members, 2 at-large public, and then staff support. So there'd be 5. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you.
And this will be a regular committee. Now, how often do we refresh the committee? In other words, these are not lifetime appointments. This is not. You're not appointed to the federal bench. So, I think they should be, barring a problem, a 2-year appointment, so that no one feels unburdened. They don't feel like they're stuck with this forever. from the community, but it's long enough for them to really get their feet wet and have a clear understanding of what's going on, get close to what we're doing at the city. Mr. Shedd, do you have any comments?
A couple. I believe because this is a standing committee that this has to be, committee has to be officially formed through either resolution or possibly ordinance.
It's actually formed by way of the vote of the people. Is that enough?
We'll bring back. Yeah, we'll have to just formalize the.
Well, let's put it this way: if we don't, then we're violating Measure G. So I think we've got a committee.
The second thing is the current ordinances, I also think, give terms for standing committee members, or actually it requires them to be reevaluated, and I'm not sure if we've done that in quite some time, so we may need to refresh all of those, and we may want to just follow what the standing committee ordinances or the charter says. That might simplify things. If it doesn't line up with what we want to do here, then we can make exceptions. But what I would recommend is staff take a shot at putting together appropriate language based on what was said tonight, with the details, terms, who's the membership, how they're appointed.
Yes, and if there are, I'd like to be briefed. I think we'd all like to understand exactly what those are, and I think those can be shared without a Brown Act violation. Okay, well, that's barring any. Do we have any public comment?
No, not tonight.
Thank goodness, because I was supposed to bring that in earlier. Okay, then we'll move on to the next item. It's a public hearing, and all matters in this section of the agenda. There's one matter. It's a formal public hearing. Interestingly enough, in a formal public hearing, council acts as judge and jury. Members of the public may request to speak, called upon for public comment, and you'll be given that opportunity once the matter's been presented and before it's discussed by the council. If you'd like to comment, please get a speaker's card from the clerk or raise your hand online if you're online. Okay. Kathy Pease, it's always grand to see you.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council.
Thank you. And the item is entitled Proposed Zoning Change for Sign and Fence Regulations in the Downtown Specific Plan. And the recommendation is, 1, to approve an urgency ordinance, making urgency ordinance findings to amend Section 18.64 and Section 18.84 of the zoning code to address sign and fence requirements in the downtown specific plan, and 2, direct staff to move forward with the same ordinance and bring the item to the Planning Commission with a recommendation to the City Council or from the City Council.
Planning Commission would provide a recommendation to the City Council.
Just a minute. Recommendation to the, it's an item, and bring the item to the Planning Commission with a recommendation, asking for a recommendation to the City Council. What are we doing here?
That's true.
So we're punting it to the Planning Commission, and their charge is to bring a recommendation to the council. That's what it says right here.
Correct.
Anyway, this would include the same ordinance without urgency findings to amend Section 17.64. I think that's supposed to be Section 18.64.
Yes.
Correcting. And Section 18.84 of the zoning code to address sign and fence requirements in the downtown specific plan. Trustees, would you please share?
Good evening. Thank you. This is a cleanup item. Next slide. That I'm bringing forward. As you're aware, the City Council approved the downtown specific plan on its September 16th meeting. That specific plan went into effect on November 7th. However, as staff started to process things within the specific plan, we noticed that a cleanup item that is before you tonight is needed. As part of the new specific plan, we did new zoning districts that established new areas with the specific plan that included the downtown mixed-use zoning district, commercial mixed-use, medical arts district, mixed-use neighborhood, and the B Street commercial district. Next slide. The sign regulations are found in section 18.64, and fence regulations are found in section 18.84 of the city's municipal code, and they refer to the old zoning districts, which were C1, C2, and C3, which were commercial, and M1, which was the industrial designations. So we're asking tonight to consider a zoning code amendment to include the new downtown specific plan zoning districts to regulate both signs and fencing. Next slide. We are asking that this be an urgency ordinance in order to avoid confusion, because we don't have the right zoning districts referenced in the sign and fence. We want this to go into effect immediately so there's no confusion with this. Next slide. One of the things I should have mentioned, and it's in your staff report, is that we have a color-coded, non-codified map that will correspond to the new zoning district, so staff can use it. Somebody comes in, they'll be able to tell what fence or sign ordinance setbacks or height regulations will be needed. So if you adopt this tonight, that will go into effect immediately. And then, as we've indicated in your staff report, we will now go forward and take a regular ordinance that will take to the Planning Commission December 10th, and then we would come back to the City Council probably in January with the regular ordinance. So with that, we are recommending approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Matter's been presented. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
No.
Time for public comment is closed. Any comments or questions from the Vice Mayor?
At this point, we're not changing any of the restrictions or allowances with it, correct? We're only changing the titles to get it into the right.
That is correct. We are just adding new headings with the new zoning districts in those areas.
Any other questions or comments? Noting none. What is the will of the council?
Move to approve.
Motion?
Second.
And seconded. Do a roll call on a public hearing.
Councilmember Rollins? Yes. Councilmember Gilchrist?
Approved.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bettacavoli?
Yes.
And Mayor Branscombe?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Now we move to committee reports and comments from the council members. Councilmember Rollins. Go for it.
Okay. First of all, congratulations to Maggie for her promotion to permanent city clerk.
Yo, 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 yo.
I'm very excited. And we're excited as well. Or I am anyway. I got to speak for myself, sorry. I attended the AMPLA health ribbon cutting with, I think Stuart and the mayor were there. It was really nice. It's nice to have that gem in the heart of our city. You know, and the facility, you know, as everybody knows, the cannery is just a wonderful place. And I think they did a pretty great job of the redevelopment of that facility for their use. The Air Out the Truth, the Blue Zone project, I was honored to serve as a judge for the high school project focusing on the wellness over nicotine. Various clubs recorded their presentations, and I was pleased to attend the celebration also. It's kind of hard to judge teenagers because I feel that if they're involved, hard to judge them, but they all did an outstanding job. I also attended the Yuba-Sutter, Sutter Yuba, I always get it wrong, Homeless Consortium, State of Homelessness 2025 Summit. It was great to see the new pit count, point in time count was down. I also volunteered for that pit count in January. The annual Marysville Veterans Day Parade was outstanding, I felt. It was well attended, and it appears that it was up from last year. But thank you to the staff for all of your extra work. Finalizing the strategic plan, it was great. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone and the council members. Enjoy your time off with good food, family, and friends.
Councilman Gilchrist.
It's so easy to follow Councilman Rollins' comments exactly. So, congratulations, Maggie. Excellent. We had a great strategic planning meeting, the council and the city staff. Thank you very much, Jim Shad. Greatly appreciated. And thank you, the entire city staff, for all of your excellent work with the storms coming up and cleaning the streets and everything. Thank you very much. And I don't have any committee reports at this time.
Councilman Hudson.
I have no committee reports as well, and personal congratulations, Maggie. Thank you. And to the rest of the staff for all the work you guys do. Make our decisions easier.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
I do not have any committee reports at this time. I've already told Maggie congrats, I don't know how many times, but we'll say it one more. And I just want to remind everybody about our blue Christmas. Christmas parade coming up the first Saturday of December. Don't forget it. It's going to be a blue Christmas. It's going to be exciting, I think. Thank you.
Oh, my turn. Well, let's see. This isn't so much a committee report. We are in process on the strategic planning process. City management has put together a comprehensive set of thoughts on various matters affecting the city, and they were all useful. And now we're sifting through and prioritizing, and we'll be getting together again to finish that up, and that's a very important process. Keeps everybody focused on what's really important and what needs to be done with respect to that. I was a proud participant, as I have been each year I've been in office, in the Veterans Day Parade. I'm a United States Navy veteran. It was, I'll never forget, in fact, I think the first parade I was in was a Bach Kai parade. I just felt so silly. I was going to want to see a damn elected mayor, but the kids come out, and it's so much fun. I interact with the kids. I look out, and if you interact with the kids, the parents love it. And it's, for a while there, you feel like you might be really somebody, but you're representing the city, and you represent the city with a smile in those circumstances, and it's fun to do. I look forward to it. Marysville knows how to put on a parade. There's two ways about that. I joined with Council Rollins at the Ampla Health ribbon cutting. They'd been working on that facility for quite some time, and I'd had occasion, when it was still owned by the prior ownership group, to advise that prior ownership group, that compensation as a friend, as to structure, value, what have you, and had seen that facility in its prior state. Now that building has the former Mountain Mike's Pizza venue, which is still looks like a pizza parlor, only there's nobody there. And the next was this huge venue, wide open spaces, nothing but desks and dividers and cubicles. As far as the eye could see, it seemed. And then the next room, and that's the place that has been developed. I was blown away. It is absolutely beautiful. Exam rooms, consultation rooms, whatever they call them. There's a full pharmacy there. And the nicest people, absolutely the nicest people on the board of directors and management. And I'm one of those guys that didn't want to see another big piece of property go to a nonprofit, but I walked out of there with a smile on my face. Honest to goodness did. There are a number of people who are constituents, people who use the facility who were there also. It was a grand event, and they have plans now. The next major space to the north of the space that has been improved, which was a huge space, there's acres under roof there, is yet to be developed. And then the former restaurant and the former bar will be next. And we were told that those spaces are going to be used for senior daycare. They have an acronym for that, but what is it? Yeah,
it's like a senior daycare.
I heard senior daycare. And apparently there's a real need for that. Now, this isn't a place where you can take your aging uncle with a serious case of dementia in the middle of the day. No, it's not a medical care. It's a place where people who would otherwise be alone during the day and don't want to be alone can go. And it has health care benefits because they may not be getting right next door's health care. And they may not be getting the checks that could forestall another problem. So our community is really blessed by this. Would I have rather seen a big commercial operation? Yep, but this is a wonderful. I was happy to see that. Continue to represent the city at Sacramento Area Council of Governments. Councilmember Rollins is my usual accompaniment. He gets up to speed on things and spots things I don't necessarily spot, and I appreciate it. Though, let's see. City Manager, Mr. Community Development Director, it's your turn. That order. I know he's going to come, so I thought I'd introduce him.
So,
Maggie, congratulations. Almost forgot. Bless you.
Vice Mayor Buttacavoli already stole part of our thunder. Christmas parade, December 6th, and what he didn't mention, Christmas tree lighting, December 5th in the evening. Those are the biggies. It seems like we just had the Veterans Parade, but the Christmas Parade is coming right around the corner. I think Dan's got a couple other events, quite a few open houses and ribbon cuttings, so I'll turn it over to him.
Hello. Okay, there we go. So I'll be very brief. And yes, you mentioned the tree lighting and the Christmas parade are coming up. But also on the 5th of December is Candy Cane Lane, where thousands of children will be walking around on 5th Street. And that happens in downtown Marysville during the day. So make sure to come down and check it out because they go from store to store. It's on the 5th as well. Same day as the tree lighting. So they call it Candy Cane Lane. It happens before the tree lighting, and then sort of during. So, but usually there's several thousand people will show up to that as well. So it'll be a good day for that. And then the Downtown Business Association is sponsoring a very merry Grinchmas. So they have a Grinch hunt over on D Street, and that's going to be on the 18th of December. And as the city manager mentioned, there are several upcoming ribbon cuttings, but we'll mention those in the next meetings, and they're also on the web. And except for one, tomorrow is the banquet, the opening of the banquet event center, and they have a grand opening. It's called the Marysville Banquet Hall ribbon cutting, and that is over at the old Episcopalian Church on D Street, and it's now a banquet hall, and that's at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And the owner personally wanted to invite each of you as council members to attend if you could do that. And that's all I have. I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving, and congratulations on Maggie being in this position as well. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's not late. Oh, I just wanted to say, and all of this is on our website, correct?
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at PlumasLakeSelfStorage.coma.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
Each week, local governments and schools make important decisions that have short-term and long-term impacts on our community, and quite possibly on you. Yuba-Sutter.LIVE makes it easier for you to know what's going on. We live stream up to 4 local government meetings every Tuesday, important special meetings, Oliver's Public Utility District's monthly Thursday meetings, and town halls. To make it easier for you, we pull out informative sections and present them individually. For Your Information, our new series that posts Wednesdays right here on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and follow our Facebook page so you know when we're live and when we've posted something new. For Your Information.
Local government meetings made shorter. Hosting Wednesdays here on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. It's the truth that comes through.